country on the hill. Memories of it still keep going, keep going. No, I will. It's been going on. Now you will go. No, tempted by the fruit of another. And we are live. Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Roy. This is Relentless Roy's Intuitive Tarot. I'm here for the collective and myself to get an intuitive tarot card read, to fill us in with information we need to know, the energies that are surrounding us, persons, places, and things, etc., etc. So glad all of you are here. So grateful for everything that I have, right? You know, hard work pays off, right? So I want to thank God. I want to thank Jesus Christ. I want to thank the Holy Spirit. I want to thank the archangels. I want to thank the ascended masters, my ancestors, and my passed on loved ones of peace, love, and light. Those that are in the spirit that guide and protect me, that walk with me. Thank you. Let's see. Let me clear some energy here. We'll just do one because we don't need to get crazy. One's good, right? One ringy dingy. Anyway, all right. Let's get a little bit. Clear the energy, clear the air. Yes, very grateful, very happy, blessed. There's days where I forget how blessed I really am, you know, but it's like family and friends that, kind of bring it all to perspective. You know, you got the people that are in your corner, right? Or the people that you love and care about. And then you got the people that, you wish them well, but you've learned that you don't have time for the shenanigans, whatever it is. You make time, and you always are there for the ones that you love, the ones that, are important. So you make time, you make an effort, right? So if you don't make time and you don't make an effort to be, with the ones that are important, it'll be your loss. So myself, speaking for myself, I'm just so glad that I stuck with it. The rules, right? The street code, whatever you want to call it, where you know that you can't cross the line with, I've made mistakes for sure. And I've had to pay for my mistakes. But I was able to, recover or rebuild or rejuvenate, all the mistakes that I've made over the past or in the past or up until now. And I have done some stupid things, right? But I never crossed the line, right? There's been times where Like a year or two would go by and I haven't talked to anybody or something. But I've been able to, like, mend the fences. Judgment, right? Judgment is here. Archangel uh, Gabriel. We're gonna we're gonna mend the fences. We're gonna fix the problems, right? And move forward. But we can't get caught in the trap, right? We can't make everybody happy. So you kind of go along for the ride, and you leave the rest up to God. You leave the rest up to Jesus Christ and the holy angels, because at the end of the day, they call the shots, really. We're just playing our part here on earth. We have a mission while we're here. Maybe some of us have more than one mission or one obligation while we're here. I brought this up before in the past. It's just like the TV show Quantum Leap, where he jumps into a person and tries to save the day. Very similar. We have a soul that's been born, placed into this body, and while we're here, if we are able to awaken out of the matrix, right, then the holy angels, they work with us. They talk to us. They give us signs and synchronicities, right? We have senses where we can see, hear, smell, taste the outside world. Like, for example, with me, I can, I'm not trying to brag, but, you know, let's just say people have a hard time lying to me. And if they do lie, eventually, it's going to catch up where, I mean, that's nothing special, right? But, like you would think everybody has these capabilities, right? You would think everybody is like aware of their surroundings. They can tell when somebody's lying, and they can feel and you know sense danger. I thought everybody could do that, but I guess not. Maybe I think most people can, right? But they choose to ignore it. And I'll tell you, you know, it's only it only took me half my life to finally figure out that I don't want to suffer, and I don't want to live in like pain and suffering and torture. Now, right after experiencing, several life and death situations, right, and I'm gonna say, I wasn't gonna say it, but I've actually been able, you know, I've been able to save two guys. I've saved both of their lives. So that's how I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna say that I've saved two people's lives, and there are two people walking this earth today because I saved them. There's probably a couple more. I just, I didn't actually like. It wasn't like a medical emergency, right? Maybe there's got to be a bunch of guys where I talked them off the cliff, right? I said, hey, you really want to go down that road? You really want to, with people and things in the past, right? So I'll say this is that when the time comes, when you're grown, right, and God puts you to the test, and He says, okay, my son, or my child, right? I want you, there's somebody who's hurt. There's somebody who needs help, right? This is the call. Are you gonna save that person? Are you gonna save the the uh, the cat out of the tree? I've been talking about this. There's a building on fire. Are you gonna run into the building and save the people inside? There's somebody who's having they're caught in the riptide, or they're at the lake and they went under the water. Are you gonna dive in and save a life, or are you gonna sit there and let them go? So I'm at the point where in my life right now where I want to do God's will, right? Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I hope you understand what I'm saying. The greater good of mankind, to save a life, to help the sick and the suffering, the innocent. Don't get involved in hurting people. Don't get involved in these plans of mass destruction and destroying people's lives. Don't ever do that. You'll never win. And it only lasts for a little while. Maybe years go by, you guys get away with it, but eventually it catches up with you, because thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. God calls the shots. You gonna work with God? You gonna work for God, or you gonna work for the devil? You decide. All right. Again, hit the like button, share, and subscribe, man. Get them subscribes up. Get them likes up. Help a brother out, okay? If you want to donate to the channel, do the Cash App, do the PayPal. Whatever you got to do, help me out, right? Again, my name is Roy. This is Relentless Roy's Intuitive Tarot. Here to enlighten you guys. Here to give you advice. Here to coach you, inspire you. You know why? Because once upon a time, I was sitting on the other side of the screen and I had no clue. Here I am now. I work with spirit. I ask God for help. And I'm proud to say that I've saved people's lives. Saving lives. There'll come a day when you look back, you'll say, what did I do with my life? Did I save anybody? Did I achieve anything? Did I win the football game? Did I run into that burning building? Or did I save that drowning child, kid or whatever, right? Did I bring a couple people back to life? When you get older, you start to ask yourself these. Some of us do. You ask yourself, what have I accomplished? But anyway, enough talk. Let's get a read in. Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, Archangels, Ascended Masters, Ancestors, my past on loved ones of peace that would like come through, please. As above, so below, as within, so without. Please, Spirit, give us the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs, the lefts, the rights, the who, what, when, where, how, and why, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. Come through, Spirit. Please. If you're making me wait, I need to know. Wow. Man, I hope I don't get caught with the music in the background. Alright, we got a bunch here, but it was like on the first rip. So we got the Tower. Spirit's been cool, so It's right. I'm saying Spirit's been cool. No, I'm lucky that Spirit works with me. Period. So we get the Tower in reverse. Okay, Tower I believe is Aries energy. Tower's in reverse. We have the Eight of Cups walking away. Okay, and this is full moon to an eclipse of some sort, right? Waxing to the waning of the moon. Ace of Cups, the Lord's blessings. Then we have a Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is like an energy. This is an opinion. Page of Swords in the reverse. This is somebody what? Hmm. Interesting. Page of Swords in reverse. Three of Swords. Wow. This one we'll put back because it wasn't. Maybe I was supposed to flip it, but I think that was a temptation from Spirit. He was going to see if I was going to flip that card. Sorry, I hear something, so I was going to pause, but I'm going to keep going. All right, the sword. No, sorry. That's funny I said that. The Tower in reverse, Aries energy. Tower reverse is the build up, right, to the tower, right, to the fall, to the. But with the Tower reverse, it's like we're stuck in we're in lingo, or we're, for example, like in limbo. We're in limbo. See how they got caught and their hands are up, but they're like we're stuck right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Truth be told, right? So the Tower with it upright, it's like the whole process, of say like elimination, or the whole process of the build up and then the destruction and the fall and then the renewal, right? In the upright, but this is reverse. So the fall, right? The build up to the fall is stuck right there where they're caught, but there's no relief. The tower is usually like it could be violent, it could be destruction, stuff like that. Eight of Cups. This is the Irish goodbye. Right, so you're walking away from a tower collective because God told you to walk away. God said, "Hey, I have a blessing. I have a Ace of Cups for you, my child. But in order for you to do that, you must walk away from the tower, right? And then we have a page right after the Ace of Cups. We have the Page of Swords in the reverse. With right after that's the Three of Swords. London calling. Get out of the cupboard, you boys and girls. All right, Foley Beat Mania has printed dust. Page of Sword in the reverse. Okay, so what I'm picking up off this Page of Sword in reverse is it looks like this energy of the Page of Sword, right, is like lost and confused, and they're also frustrated with them being in reverse. They're also like, I feel like, like you ever see like a show or a cartoon where the like say it's a robot and sparks are shooting out of their head, right? You see like smoke and sparks start like coming out of the ears, right? This Page of Sword, see all this smoke again? I talked about this the other day. This is like, think of the guy on Charlie Brown where they're like covered in dirt or they're like lost. You know what I mean? Like everything around them is confusion, and they're like, the smoke and the sparks are like coming out of their ears, right? But they're also a little bit, they're ticked off, right? With the Page of Swords, right? And then it's the Page of Swords in reverse is looking at this Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is, heartbreak and sorrow and sadness, But it's with it upright, you have to overcome. So I see the Page of Swords like sparks, smoke shooting out of their ears, right? But they've just started the process of, right, like of realizing that, right, with the tower too, right? Tower's reversed, so this tower's been like in reverse for like what, 8 months, right? With the Eight of Cups, right? Somebody walked away 8 months ago, or like 8 years ago, or you know what I'm saying? With the Eight of Cups, 8 cycles, right? 8 moon cycles or something, right? If you counted up every time that there was like, this is a full moon every month, right? So what, 8 months ago? 8. I'm trying to think. So what are we? We're in. We are in August, right? This is the end of July. We're into August, right? Oops. Plug this camera in. All right, we're plugged in. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, back to the reading. Hey, this is Relentless Roy's Intuitive Tarot. Hit the like button. Share it with all your friends and your family. And subscribe. Okay, please and thank you. And please donate to the channel. PayPal and Cash App. Right? Let's see. If we are in the end of July, so that counts as a month, right? So at the beginning of the year, so this has been like, what we're dealing with has been on hold. The tower has been in reverse for 8 months, right? So these people in the tower, you have a masculine and a feminine energy, right, in this tower in reverse, right? Then you have, looks like a gentleman here who walked away 8 months ago, mind you. Probably, if I know what I'm talking about, this is not, the Eight of Cups is just depicting that this person has their back to these people, but for like the last 8 months, this tower has been in reverse. And when you walked away, God asked you to do something, right? I was talking about this at the beginning of the read. Are you going to work with God? Are you going to work for God? Are you going to listen to what He tells you to do? When Spirit comes to you and says, I want you to walk away, are you going to do it? So this tower has been in reverse for 8 months, probably more. Okay. And now, with this Page of Sword energy, right? Somebody's like, oh, smoked out. Smoking up a storm. Right? And what's funny is that how to put this into terms where this Page of Swords in reverse is looking at the Three of Swords. Still hasn't like come across that with the Tower reverse, the Page of Sword in reverse, and the Three of Swords upright is, yes, this message is for you. Right? They're still looking at the Three of Swords like, huh? Like, I'm not sad. My heart's not broken, right? And they're like, all like sparks and smoke shooting out of their ears. But for the last 8 months, they've been caught like a, caught in a trap. You know what I'm saying? Like they know that it's like so funny. It's like they can't accept the reality of it. Whatever this is, like somebody, with the Eight of Cups, it could be like people walking away. Also, it might not just be one guy. It could be eight. Say with the Eight of Cups, it could be 8 people. 8 people, 8 cups, right? That were with these guys. This guy, masculine, feminine energy, that walked away because God came through with the Ace of Cups and said, "Hey, all that you got to get is a Page of Sword in reverse with a Three of Swords." You know what? If you add up the Page of Sword, right, with the Three of Swords, that's 4 of Swords. That's somebody laid out. That would be right. I see this with the towers and then the Eight of Cups. Somebody saw this tower from a mile away. I see the Page of Cups is frustrated and confused. Tell us more, Spirit, please. Page of Cups is like, why is it like they're stuck in the mess that they made for themselves, clearly. Right? With the tower reversed, they're like, you know what I mean? Like deer in the headlights, or say you got somebody, walking through your yard, you hit them with the spotlight, you hit them with the flashlight, right? And all of a sudden they're like, hey, that's what the tower reverses. We caught you, we see you. We see you, dude. That's too many, Spirit, but it looks like what do we have? Right, so having to do with this tower is the people in this tower, all they care about is themselves. And they're trying to help themselves, but they're not, they don't realize like there's a higher, you know what I mean? All they're focused on is, how do I get away with, you know, red rum? How do I get away with, that's their mindset. It's not like they want to like turn the leaf over and start anew, like when you're reborn, right? Born again, when they say like born again Christian or what have you, when you shed your old self, like you start a new life by sacrificing your old life, the old you. These guys don't want to do that. They're just trying to put a band-aid on an open wound because they put so much time and effort into what they want. They're trying to look good, and they hurt somebody. Yeah, they want to start over. Like their priorities is so they repeat the cycle over and over and over again. They still can't figure out why. Like they're stuck in the matrix. I was talking about this at the beginning of the read, where they didn't wake up. They're still like, you know, I used to be like that, but that was like, years ago when I had a near death life experience. That's when I started to like really kind of like say, wait a minute, you know. Then after my near death life experience, right, when I was brought back to life, okay, let's just be honest here. God said it wasn't my time, you know. So thank God, right? When you get a second chance at life, then you realize, wait a second, what's important? What matters to me? What, you know, the love you have for your family and your friends and stuff. Not not make believe like, oh, I'll get away with this, or oh, I'll quit drinking, but next year I'll be right at it again. You know what I mean? Like you have to shed the old you. Like, and I don't think people realize like it's it's tough to watch people continue to suffer when there's a way out. But it's not up to you. It's up to them, and it's up to God. They're looking for easy ways, an easy way out. They're not willing to put the time and effort into fixing or sacrificing the old them to the new. Like however long it takes is however long it takes. You can't just have a quick fix. You got to do the work. Five of Cups under the Tower. Right? What do we have here? Under the Tower is this gentleman, right? Looks like a masculine energy. When he sacrificed, right? He's looking at everything that he lost, right? But he doesn't see the Two of Cups behind it, right? Right. So he had to shed, right? For example, that's what I was just saying. He had to let go of the past. He had to let go of this cup, whatever that was. And that cup, he lost 3 cups, but he's left with this, but he doesn't, right? With the Tower in reverse, it's like And it's almost like maybe they're starting to realize, they're starting to wake up, they're starting to, they might just, like, if we got the sun in reverse, that would kind of go along with what I'm talking about here. They might just start to be waking up. They might just be accepting their fate or their karma for everything that they've done here. Tell us more, Spirit, please, and thank you. Spirit, you're the best. Thank you, bro. Ten of Swords. I heard a reader, tarot card reader, explain the Ten of Swords the other day to like a T. And I can't even like explain it the way the reader explained it, but I was like, wow. You know what I mean? It's how you depict it, but Five of Cups, Ten of Swords. It's almost like, wow, with the Ten of Swords right here, it's like not only with the Tower and the Five of Cups. Yeah, whatever this tower is, man. Wow. I see this energy here with the Five of Cups is they lost three things. They have the two, but right behind them is the Ten of Swords. I don't know if they're aware of it, but above the Ten of Swords is the Eight of Cups. Right? So like with this Five of Cups, right? Right now they're like boo, they're crying or whatever, they're sad because of this tower, right? Right? They don't even see the Two of Cups right there, right? Which is sad, right? But when they turn around, see how he's facing this way? When this guy turns around, he's going to look and it's going to be this. Under the Eight of Cups, because it looks like this Ten of Swords was for the character on the Eight of Cups, but he walked away 8 months ago. 8 whatever, 8 moon cycles, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? And so now when this guy looks like this Five of Cups, when he turns around, he's in for a surprise, I'll tell you. It looks like it's going to be a Ten of Swords. Right? High Priestess under the Ace of Cups. Wow. We have an Ace of Cups and below it is the High Priestess. So we're talking the truth here. We're talking about the Most High is connected with the High Priestess. Ancient laws, ancient rules, That's like what I was talking about earlier, the street code. You don't mess around and follow God's plan, God's design. We got the Five of Pentacles in reverse here. Under the Page of Swords. So I'll tell you right now, what I see here is because this High Priestess listened to the Most High, they're blessed. They did. The tower was here, right? Think of like in the movie, like a movie where the guy crashes his car and it's leaning off a bridge, right? Or it's on a cliff, and it's like teeter-tottering, right? And if you move too much, the whole car with you in it's going to go flying off the cliff, right? And with the you know what I mean? So the tower is, think of the tower as a car that's hanging on a cliff that's teeter-totter. Your seatbelted in it. So you undo the seatbelt, all of a sudden the car goes, right? And you're like teeter tottering, right? So what happened was, right? Let's just say this, right? You got two people on this card, right? 1, 2, and you have this guy right here, 8 of Cups, right? So the day they took off in the car and they were going to go drive down to the bridge or drive over the bridge, this guy walked away, right? He said, "No, I'm not going down to the bridge." Right? See how he's by the ocean or something? So he says, "No, I'm going to go back to the house. I'm not going on the ride. I'm not going on the adventure." But these two people, right? They went ahead and they said, "Yeah, we're going to the thing. We're going to go there." Right? But this guy didn't show up. He said, "No, I'm not going." These two showed up. When they got there, they forgot to put it in park and they rolled, and now they're stuck and they're in the car and they're teeter-tottering, right, on the bridge. If you get what I'm saying, all right? I'm trying to explain this. So the guy, the 8 of Cups, he walked away because God told him, "I don't want you to go. I want you to, you got like a funny feeling, right?" And now these two are basically stuck in that, with the tower in reverse. They're stuck in that spot on the bridge where if they turn around, like if they make a sudden move, this is what they're gonna get. They're gonna fall off the cliff. They're gonna fall off the bridge, right? It's almost with the High Priestess here. Also, is High Priestess is Cancer energy, Pisces energy, under the Ace of Cups. Like, so this is intuitive. This is the meat and potatoes when it comes under the Ace of Cups, right? Right? Um, it's almost like whatever this is, like you picked the wrong person to mess with. Right after that, we get the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. It's in the reverse, so it looks like, you know, somebody is making a decision to stop what they're doing. Whatever this tower is in reverse, this 5 of Cups. It's almost like these guys are like hellbent. It's really weird. With the Page of Swords in reverse, the 5 of Pentacles, it's like, well, I don't want to put it like that, but maybe somebody's finally realizing that, like, they wasted all this time. Something like that. Like, they're looking at the 3 of Swords like, huh? I'm the one that's messed up? You know what I mean? Like, they're literally, the 3 of Swords, they're looking in the mirror. This Page of Swords in reverse is looking in the mirror and going, wow, I'm the one that's sick. I'm the one that's messed up. You know what I mean? Like, it's finally catching up to him. 5 of Cups, 10 of Swords. They lost their marbles. They lost their emotions, right? They're losing everything. And they're literally looking in the mirror going, wow, they're starting to realize, I'm the one that's messed up here. Like, now that, like, they're finally like, poof, they're looking in the mirror going like, yeah, maybe I am, like, taking this way too far. Serious. Thank you, Spirit. Whoa. Oh, me. We have Death card. Yeah, because it's over. Well, this isn't fun. It wasn't fun 8 months ago. Now look what you're dealing with. This is... Death is here. saying, it's not up to you now. It's not up to the Most High. You can see this dude. See him? He don't play around. Death comes. It takes what belongs to death. You don't mess with death, dude. It's under the Three of Swords. That's so with the Five of Pentacles, and then you got the Death card. Somebody's knocking on heaven's door, but guess what? Nobody's gonna answer. I'm not even joking. You got people, right? You got people. They're knocking on heaven's door. But all that, when the door opens up, it's death. Death don't play. It's what I'm seeing here is it's like the boy who cried wolf. They played and they played and they played, and now finally, guess who's here? The wolf is here. And you're knocking on heaven's door going, hey, help me out. But the wolf, when you open the door, or when the door opens, you know, the story of the three little bears or whatever, right? Or something like that. You knock on the door, they go, oh yeah, we'll get in. When the door opens up, it's death. Damn, dude. That's pretty sad. Felt like this in so long. Oh, since Knight of Pentacles in reverse. With death here, then the Knight is no longer. It goes death to the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. As you can't, we're not going to take advantage of these Pentacles any longer. It's over. Like I've been saying, it's over for like a while. It's over. But these guys, they can't even look in the mirror and accept. You know what I mean? Like it's. It would be hard for these guys to look in the mirror, like honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't even look in the mirror. Because when they do look in the mirror, they see something that they hate. They hate themselves. Jeez, what was that? That was Spirit going, yup. You are correct. Nine of Cups in reverse won't they come out? I kind of took it. Right, so, okay, here we go. Nine of Cups under the five. You got the Tower, the Five of Cups, Nine of Cups. In reverse, everything's exposed. We see you. We see your chicken legs. You know, we see your, you know, right? Just picture this guy. All the cups get knocked over. The tables get knocked over, and now you're hanging out. It's almost like a hangman. The nine of Cups in reverse is a hangman. In a way, right? Where your vanity is right. So picture this guy's skirt, right? His hat gets knocked off, and now we see him hanging there, right? Upside down. We can see his chicken legs, right? We see his belly, right? We see his beer belly, his chicken legs. You know, and the underwear he's got a crap stain in it. Okay, I hate to be so graphic, but embarrassed. Talk to me, Spirit, please. Yes, sir. Thank you, Spirit. Queen of Pentacles. In the upright. Out of the Ten of Swords. Yeah, this is, you know what I see here? This is a forced, the Holy Spirit, the universe, death itself is forcing someone into a humiliation ritual because that's what they wanted on somebody else. And now when death is knocking on their door, or they're knocking on heaven's door, but when it opens, it's death. Their only option is either walking through the door or the humiliation ritual. That's how far they took it. This Queen of Pentacles is under the Ten of Swords, and it's like that's what they wanted. They wanted this Queen of Pentacles to be Ten of Swords. Totally cooked. And it's the Queen of Pentacles is taught, like, could have told this Nine of Cups, or tried to tell him. I'm telling you, I can see this Queen of Pentacles going, looking at the pentacle, but the Queen of Pentacles said is looking, like, think of it as like a, I don't know, magic. It's a pentacle, right? So think of it. It could be a picture. You know, it could be a whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just use your imagination. What do you, I can't even think of it. A psychic. You know what I mean? What do you call those? What you would call? I don't have one, so crystal ball, something or other, right? And she's going. She's looking at it, going, "I told you." You know what I mean? Like the universe has laws and rules, and you know what I'm saying? Like, there are things that you can do, and there's things that you can't do. And when I see this Queen of Pentacles looking down at that pentacle, it's almost like this queen, she's shaking her head saying, I told you, like, not to do it. Like, I would have helped you. I could have helped you. But you chose to go against the grain. That's how I'm seeing it, right, guys? Okay. We're almost at an hour here. Oh, boy. Lovers. Under the High Priestess. Death is Scorpio. Yeah. With Death under the Three of Swords, if you ask me, I feel like that's a dangerous, yeah, it's almost like somebody in the tower. There's two people in the tower. Aries Kai, right? Tower's Aries. There's two people in the Five of Pentacles. Death is Scorpio, next to the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So it's like one of the two of these feminine and masculine energies depicted on these cards may experience some sort of colossal life event. If you get what I'm saying, if you pick it up, and it has something to do with taking advantage of somebody's pentacles. They used somebody, they stole something, right? They were doing it so much as when they were like, it was, they took advantage of an honest person. It looks like, okay, like way more than they should have. Like they could have done like a scam, right? Got away with it and let it be. But like with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is like they did like they used and abused this Knight of Pentacles in reverse like way too much. That's what that is, right? Scorpio. You have Aries with the Tower reverse. Scorpio, death is here. Right? The death is under the Three of Swords. And it's next to the Five of Pentacles. So it's a poisonous, it's a deadly, it's a toxic relationship with these people depicted on these cards. Right? Queen of Pentacles is like, yeah, like, hey, I tried to tell you, like, if you keep trying to do, like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you even try to do this stuff? The Lovers is Gemini energy. It's next to the Queen of Pentacles. It's under the High Priestess. So the Archangel Raphael is here. Right? We get the Tree of Life on here. We get the Tree of the Knowledge of Good and Evil under the High Priestess. God spoke to the High Priestess, right? And followed suit. A clear path. God said, walk away. The person, collective, whoever, myself, walked away. All that was left is the Three of Swords, right? Now, when they're trying to play games and play catch up, it's a Five of Cups. It's a Ten of Swords, right? Somebody's finally saying, oh, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do this. One of them. One is saying, I want out. The other one's saying, I want to go all the way in. And death is here under the Three of Swords. So it's going to be of the two, right, who are involved. Not only will one of them lose one of them, but it'll destroy the whole. If you understand what I'm saying, is like somebody's going to make a decision, and when they do that, then it means that it's over for good, because this could be like a life and death situation. Unfortunately, Scorpio is here, Aries with the Tower. You have Five of Pentacles in reverse, okay, and then the death card, Scorpio, is under the Three of Swords. If you follow what I'm saying, it's a maybe, but it's a strong maybe, because the High Priestess is here under the Ace of Cups, and right underneath the High Priestess is the Lovers. Because, the Archangels are like, no, the High Priestess does what we tell him to do. Or, you know what I'm saying? Him or her, whatever. God says, hey, you got to go save that guy who's drowning in the lake. High Priestess pulls off the guy out of the hat, dives in, and goes saves the dude. God says, hey, I want you to go into hermit mode for a week. Just work on yourself. That's what the High Priestess does, because he listens to what God tells him to do. Lovers is here. Gemini energy, next to the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, right? Pentacles. You got 6 Pentacles. All right, so it looks like Spirit has a give and a take. Queen of Pentacles tried to tell one of these guys, whoever, don't do this. I told you so. But now you're going to have to face the consequences. Okay. The Lovers is here. Archangel, because you listened to God, because you did what you were supposed to do, the Lovers is here. And it's a give and a take. It's going to be some kind of a value where one door closes, another one opens. Where these guys, those who were first will be last, and those who were last will be first. It's a total transformation. Total transformation. Right? You get the Magician reverse. Okay, this is the Magician. We have Gemini and Virgo. It's masculine energy, right, with the Magician, but it's in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Mercury and Gemini, and we have a fire sign. Aries. The Magician reverse is under death. Right, so wow. It's almost like with Archangel Raphael here and the Lovers, it was like this was not supposed to happen. Right? You know what I mean? Like it's like this energy, right? Whoever these people are, right? We're starting to get a little bit here. They went out of their way to, like, with the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Tower in reverse, right? The Five of Cups. They went out the Nine of Cups in reverse. That's the forced humiliation ritual. The universe is spinning it around, saying like, no, if you don't face up, or if you don't fess up, if you don't follow through with your life cycle, if you don't learn how to friggin' be an honest person, like basically, death is saying if you don't smarten up, well, I don't even want to say smarten up. If you don't do the work, if you don't fix yourself, then you're coming with me. That's what this is. Right underneath death is the Magician. It's in reverse. Under death, Gemini, Virgo. Masculine energy. Under Scorpio, death. So the Magician in reverse will be buried under death. Like they chose to work against, you know, like death doesn't like have a preference. You know what I'm saying? Death takes whoever death wants. Magician in reverse, just they chose to work against the flow of life. They chose to work against the archangels. They chose to work against death itself. They chose to work against the high priestess. And because of what they were doing, they didn't receive the Ace of Cups. All they got was the Three of Swords. Because they were trying to take advantage of a Knight of Pentacles. They did. Now, this magician, this masculine energy, right, is underneath death. They ignored the archangels. They didn't help. With the Queen of Wands here, that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but we have a magician in reverse who's like lost in translation next to the Queen of Wands. They're going to be laid to rest. Something like that. Like their true colors will be seen as they're laid out. They'll be known exactly for who they really truly are. It's the magician reverse Queen of Wands, who's a backstabber and a liar and a thief. Seven of Swords. They will be known for exactly what they did and who they are. Ten of Cups in reverse. You know, in a town near you. Dysfunctional family. The town you live in, the people you're around, your family and friends. Ten of Cups in reverse. Death is here. Queen of Wands will be known for being a magician in reverse and a thief and a liar. And it all falls underneath death. While the High Priestess moves forward to work with Archangel Raphael to be equal. It's really weird. Like they chose hate, they chose anger, they chose lies, deception, manipulation. Like their ego and their pride, all it's just like wicked. Right? And it's like more you got first it was these two with the Tower reverse. Right? And then the Page of Swords says, oh, let me come up with an idea because, you know, I'm sad. And then now they got, you know, more people involved. Right? To take out this High Priestess. Now they say, oh no, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, it's weird. Like, they're such a hypocrite. Like, oh, it wasn't my idea to do that. And it's like, well, no, you told me that we're going to take out this High Priestess. We're going to take this person out. Now they're like, well, no, it wasn't my idea. Like, we were just going to rob them and steal from them and manipulate, right? But now, like, it's gone so far as to, like, death shows up because of all this, like, chaos, this havoc. You people, this is, when I say you people, the karmics are wreaking havoc in innocent people's lives, wreaking havoc, trying to take them out. Red rum, unalive, steal, lie, cheat, steal, kill, steal, and destroy. Death shows up, and they go, "Oh well, I didn't want it to go this far." And it's like, no, not only did you want it to go this far, but you wanted to make sure that everybody knew about, like how you did, like you wanted everyone to know that the high priestess, the Knight of Pentacles, whatever, you tried to make it known, like that this person was like, you know what I'm saying, like they were wreaking havoc in this Queen of Pentacles live. I bet they're wishing that they never did this now. That's all I can tell you. They're going, wow, this was like, why did we even do all of it? Not all of them. The Magician reverse, Queen of Wands reverse. Yeah. Whoa. All right, that's the read, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna kind of cut it short because let's just put it. I see a lot of flowers underneath death. So if you understand what I'm saying, a lot of flowers underneath death. I'm getting chills a little bit. So I love you guys. I wish you well. Really, after this read, life is too short to be playing around like these guys are doing. These guys and girls. Do you want to look back at life and say it was all a waste or whatever, or do you want to look back and say, no, I actually fought for what I believed in, I stood up for what was right, and there's always time to change. You can change tomorrow, today, right now. Put it down, whatever it is. Like if you're planning on trying to hurt somebody, just stop. If you're gonna go to the store and buy a pack of smokes, just stop. Before you crack open that beer, stop. Right? One day at a time. All this stuff, all this energy, all this, you guys working together, wreaking havoc, trying to take somebody out. You're gonna get all that energy, time, and effort that you put in, and you put that energy out. Hear what I'm saying? You wanted death. You wanted 10 of Swords. You wanted 3 of Swords. You wanted 9 of Cups reverse, right? The Magician is in reverse. The Queen of Wands is in reverse. You put that out there. You created this. 5 of Cups. The Tower, reverse. All of your energy was put into this. And now you're going to get it. Because that's what you created. Right? Meanwhile, the Ace of Cups, the High Priestess, the Lovers, next to the Queen of Pentacles. Whoever this is like working and talking with God and saying, yes, God, no, God, I'm sorry, God, have mercy on my soul. Right? And then the Archangel Raphael shows up and says, hey, man, I want to, talk to you about a Queen of Pentacles and a 6 of Pentacles. If you get my drift. Meanwhile, the rest of you guys are out here like going death, 3 of Swords, the Tower reverse, 10 of Swords, 9 of Cups, right? You guys are bringing this in. You guys are like making this happen. But it doesn't belong to the High Priestess. It belongs to you guys because you made it. You created it. It's got to go somewhere. It's going to go right back. You're like trying to, you conjured this stuff up. You created this energy. You made all this, like you brought it to life. This, like, it's like an entity. You've awakened an entity. And now it's here. And now it's going to take, like, it's going to say, you called me. You wanted me here to do the 10 of Swords. You wanted me to do the 3 of Swords. You wanted me in Death, Scorpio. You wanted me to hang out with the Magician reverse and the Queen of Wands reverse. And now it's here. The entity is here. And it's not going anywhere because it's going to stay with you guys. Meanwhile, okay, collective, myself, we're chilling with the Ace of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Lovers. Right? What you know about the Queen of Pentacles? What you know about the 6 of Pentacles, right? It doesn't matter what these guys are gonna do because what they created is it's stuck to them. You know what I mean? Like they can't what they created, you can't wash it off. You can't pray it off. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be with them for the rest of their lives. My name is Roy. This is Relentless Roy's Intuitive Tarot. Only God can save him now, if he wants to. I don't think he's. Like I said, they're knocking on the door. When the door opens up, it's not God, it's death. Right? And I see a lot of flowers under death. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I want to thank the Most High God. I want to thank Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit. I want to thank the archangels, the ascended masters, the ancestors, and I want to thank my past loved ones in peace, love, and light. I love you guys. Be good. Stay out of trouble. Avoid this. Don't hang around with people like this because they are going to take that entity with them until they're gone. All right. See you guys. Pray.